Yeah, of course it is. That's what it boils down to, yeah.
That's the major part of it. But what I'm saying is, like, realistically, in my mind, even though I can take steps to sort of meditate and gain a certain sense of comfort, I've always sort of had the ability to separate the imaginary from I don't know whether real is the right word, but the realistic. Maybe that's a better word than real.
See, I differ from M on this point, because to me, there's no such thing as real or imaginary. It's all the same.
Well,
They're not divided.
We don't differ on that point.
They're not actually divided.
We don't
It's
differ.
the same thing. And so I think it's the sort of, what makes you say in a realistic sense is the kind of part of your brain that very much resides in the physical aspect of life, the survival part on the physical plane, that says, okay, realistically, is there anything else other than this? What I can, sense with all of my senses in the 5 sense physical realm. Is there anything other than that? That's what it boils down to.
You've answered the question by saying physical realm.
Yeah.
I mean, the implication
because a lot of people
is that there is a non-physical realm.
Yeah, which is, obviously up for debate, and rightly so, but to me, life has always been much more than just physical realm. I don't know why, and I think the sort of experiences I've had have maybe reinforced that somewhat. It's just an inner kind of, there's more to life than just the physical. I couldn't really go any further than that, to be honest, and I don't think anyone else can. Is it gnosis? I don't know. Is it just nonsense? Who knows? But it's what makes you feel comfortable, I suppose, and happy. If M is happy in his beliefs that maybe there isn't anything else, then that's fine, and that can't be knocked, because that's great if it works. But
I don't think that's a source of happiness.
It doesn't for me, I'm afraid. It doesn't make me feel happy.
Well,
I don't think it's true, so, it's...
I don't think you can rely on the absoluteness of death being a source of happiness, can you?
No. So what does it do?
It's just a realistic view, but then I said I've been able to separate the realistic from the imaginary.
Yeah, I don't know.
And therefore, if I want to be happy, I'll simply go to the imaginary, but I'll still know it's imaginary.
Yeah, see, that's not enough for me.
My emotions don't distinguish between realistic and imaginary. I have the same emotional response whether something's real or not. And so for that moment where I'm in that imaginary plane, i.e. my imagination, and I believe something within that context, I have the emotional response of someone who is not in that context, who is in wide awake state, believing that. It's the same emotional reaction. If anything, it's more potent because I can actually give it a tangible imagery, structure, and it actually sort of sits in my brain as a sort of safe place that, I can take into my dream world. Does that make sense? It's like a mind palace.
You see, I'd go even further than that. I'd actually say that the spiritual realm, the mental realm, the imaginary realm, whatever you want to call it, is actually of far more significance than the physical realm. That to me, that's far bigger. It's like the physical realm comes from that. So I find it very difficult myself to actually put as much importance on the physical realm as what M would appear to do a lot of the time. And I guess from a physics point of view, what I mean is, or one example I can give so as to introduce people to the kind of mindset that I have over it, is that if you take an atom, or should I say if you take the nucleus from an atom, if you say the nucleus is like a 10p, and then the atom that's around that nucleus is like a cathedral around that 10p.
10p is a coin, by the way.
Yeah, a 10p coin. Then in between those two things is all this empty space, isn't it? Which means that if you really, to put you on a sort of the mindset that I'm on with this, the physical is a very small part of things. The rest is just empty space. It's like the human body, really. We're mostly empty space.
Empty space is not empty.
Yeah. But this is a kind of mindset that I've got anyway. I don't know if that made any sense. Like, if you actually took all of what is actually physical in a human body, probably could be like a grain of sand. The rest isn't actually physicality at all. You know? Do you want to say anything on that? Did that make any sense to you?
Well, there's such things called black holes, and inside black holes, matter has collapsed.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about, the compression of matter.
If you actually compressed our matter down, it would probably be no more than a teaspoonful, let's face it. Probably be less.
In a black hole, matter has collapsed so far that it doesn't actually, that space and time have also collapsed. So, that's kind of what you're talking about when you're saying, like, well, how much space does it actually take up? Well, the answer might be it doesn't take up any space.
Yeah.
It's a singularity like a black hole.
So physicality to me is more of an illusion than sort of the spiritual realm, the mental realm. I would definitely put that realm higher than the physical.
Well, what is high and low then? What does that mean?
What do I mean by that? Of more importance. Like, it is secondary information, but in the past I've read a lot of books about things like the mind-body connection, and it appears that actually it really is, insofar as your body goes, definitely, your body reacts to how you perceive and what you believe in your mentality. That's true. That's true on a scientific level. That can be proved.
Placebo.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is a huge example, and that was what I was thinking of, but there are lots of other examples of this thing. Therefore, to me, the sort of mental realm is more important, and that was what I was trying to get at.
From my point of view, I wouldn't say that either is more important. Obviously, if you didn't have a mind, well, you wouldn't know. So, that's important. Otherwise, you don't even know you're here.
Define what a mind is.
I was trying to use it in the same way as you were using the term mental.
That's not quite what I meant.
Well, they both come from the same root, don't they?
I would
Mind
say,
and ment.
in my sort of view of things, the mind is the bridge between the mental and the physical.
Okay. Well, if you didn't have a ment, then you wouldn't be able to experience the physical, would you?
I'm not sure what you meant by that statement.
Well, without a physical realm, this mental realm has no way of perceiving anything, does it?
How do you know that?
Well, why else is the physical realm here?
Why is the physical realm here? I think we've discussed these sort of issues before. It's a very strong, and I would say belief in this case of mine, that it's a training area, a school, a learning facility, and that is definitely belief. But when we've learned or gathered the information that we're supposed to in the physical realm, we go back again, in a way.
And when you say, like, it's learning, most of the lessons that we're going to learn are about the physical realm, aren't they?
There's quite a lot of spiritual stuff.
Yeah. But couldn't we have learnt that without a physical realm?
I guess so. But we don't really evolve spiritually, or I can't see how we could evolve the way we do without a physical realm. It's a manifestation, isn't it? Like every time someone has an idea of an invention or something, the first thing it is an idea. And then if they're lucky, it manifests successfully in the physical realm.
Well, people might have an idea, but it might not be very well formed, and the more they try and form it in the physical realm...
Yeah, and there are, obviously there is a lot of stuff that you have in your sort of, in the mental realm that you try and put forward into the physical that doesn't quite work, and then it's frustrating, but you learn ways around it, you learn how to manipulate it and make it work in this realm.
Well, what I find is that if I have an idea and then I try and do the idea, I learn from that experience.
Yeah.
And then my idea changes.
Mhm.
And then that repeats.
Yeah.
So
it's a kind of back and forth thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But initially, it's in the mental realm, the spiritual realm.
Yeah, maybe, but the majority of the time, it's bouncing backwards and forwards.
Yeah, but it starts off in the spiritual, in the mental.
Yeah, it might do. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the majority of the time that idea evolves over, it's still bouncing backwards and forwards between those two realms.
Yes, I know, I heard you the first time. But it starts off in the mental and spiritual realm.
But isn't this a chicken and egg argument?
No, not at all. There is a starting point, and that's not in the physical.
Sometimes when I create things like some of the music that I've made and some of the art that I've done, I deliberately use randomness generated from either pseudo-random number generators or dice or just
Yes, but the
scattered.
fact of the matter is that those things might appear to be random to you, but they're not. In the big picture, they're anything but random, if you look at chance.
But it's not in my mental realm, though.
No, exactly, because that's what I mean by the mind, your mind, being a bridge between one thing and another. It is definitely a given in the mental realm.
So every number I throw on a dice has already been predetermined in the mental realm.
Yeah. It would seem random to you or anyone else in the sort of human mind perception, but the fact of the matter is it's not actually random.
Well, quantum theory would say that all the answers of the dice, the numbers 1 to 6, all come up, and the dice falls on all areas that it could possibly fall.
Exactly.
And
all possibility.
And only upon observation of the dice, and we don't really understand scientifically exactly what observation constitutes, but only on observation of the die does the definitive, from that perspective of that observer, number emerge.
Yeah.
That's quantum theory.
So, strangely, even science seems to be touching on these things.
But it's slightly different to what you just said, though.
Well, probably I'm not the most articulate person, which is obvious, so I should think, actually, it is more like it than, maybe I could really get to. That is the kind of thing I'm talking about.
But this science of quantum theory has emerged, obviously, through study of the physical realm and of obviously inspiration in the ideas in the minds of scientists as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not just one or the other.
So it's not strictly through study of the through study of the physical then, is it? It's definitely more than that.
The whole idea of building a theory is not physical. You can be an empirical, practical scientist, but it'll only take you so far. It's when the theorists step in and create models, they're not physical.
Yeah.
They're mathematical. And mathematical descriptions are essentially mental descriptions, are just transcribed into symbols and equations. That's all. That are more exact than just saying, oh, well, it sort of just becomes, like a kind of standard kind of, spiritual way, one might say it.
Yeah. Which, a lot of scientists would consider to be completely airy-fairy anyway.
Whatever they consider doesn't really matter. They study what they study.
But I happen to think, strangely, that science is definitely coming round to some of these concepts. Slowly but surely.
See, what you said before, you said that the number on the dice was already predetermined in the mental realm. But then what I said was that, in terms of quantum theory, all the numbers on the dice had already come up.
Yeah, but I think actually it's not quite the way I'm explaining it. Obviously is a bit airy-fairy, and the quantum scientists have obviously got their model. But really, I think it's possibly knocking at the same door. It's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of principle, really.